Hello, welcome to After School Special, the interviews bringing you youth news about the After School Special. I'm Ormund Alaois, and today I'm here with Joseph Hansen. Speaking of which, could you please introduce yourself, Mr. Joseph Hansen, your age and what school you go to?
Awesome. My name is Joseph Hansen. I'm 18 years old, and I don't go to school. I'm graduated. I'm free floating right now.
Lovely. Another one shoots for the stars and reaches them, might I add. For people who haven't seen your film Aerochrome Summer, what is it about?
Well, it's not about much. I feel like I try not to make my films about things. I try to make them about sort of like feelings and a certain look. So each film is supposed to evoke a feeling, and that could be any feeling from you. I try to make them very, I don't know how to explain it, but like very up to the viewer's interpretation. So it could be about anything to you, and you could watch it multiple times. It could change meanings, you know.
Okay. And what about the title of your film? What inspired that?
Well, Aerochrome is the name of a film stock that reads infrared light, essentially. So it's instead of just like interpreting visual, or I mean, the visible spectrum of light, it goes further and it can see infrared light. And so plants reflect infrared light, so it makes plants look very different. It makes them look much brighter. But this film stock in particular, it turns plants red. It makes them red due to some kind of chemicals. And so all the trees in the film and all the plants are red, and it's a pretty interesting and unique look. And it was shot during the summer, so that's why it's called that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the music in your film is from Minecraft.
Yeah.
That was chosen, why?
Because it sounds nice. It sort of carries that melancholic feeling that is sort of throughout the film, and I don't know. It sounds nice. I will say that it was not the original recording of the music. It was someone on this really out of tune piano playing it on YouTube. I should probably link that video that I got it from, but it's not hard to find.
Yeah, I've seen some of those too. Those are really extravagantly shown, and they're very brilliant. I agree with that one. Were there any challenges in making your film?
No, this one went pretty well, actually. Usually I have some kind of problem I have to work around, but this one, I mean, I didn't shoot enough in one location, so I sort of extended it to the other. If there's the shot of like the river and it's like sort of less bright and more sort of taiga, that was shot in Whittier because I needed more footage. So.
And what was the experience like for you showing your film to a live audience at the After School Special? I remember correctly, this is not your first year.
No, it's my second year. Yes, it's always fun. You know, I like seeing people react, but yeah, it's always great. I love getting the opportunity because I feel like it's sort of hard to get that opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you said at the film festival you recently found out you were autistic.
Mm-hmm.
Would you feel comfortable talking about that and how it relates, if it does, to your film?
Well, I will say that was something I came up with sort of on a whim, that because I was asked the question while I was on stage, like, what is your film about? And like I said, it doesn't really, I don't want it to have like a concrete meaning, you know? But thinking about it, because I knew they would ask me that question, because I did this last year, thinking about that, I was like, well, I sort of see the world differently from other people. Not visually like in the film, trees aren't red to me, you know? But I interact with the world differently than other people, and I think that was a pretty good interpretation of that.
What first got you interested in filmmaking?
Well, I've always liked cameras. I made little videos when I was a kid with my parents' camera, but there's sort of probably at the end of middle school, beginning of high school, I was like, I just started to get interested in it. I don't know. Maybe it was a hyperfixation. I don't know. But I just became interested in it, and there wasn't just like a specific draw. I just liked taking pictures and making videos. And so I did that, and I learned as much as I could about it.
You were also the cinematographer for Robert Meyers' film Drift Away.
Yes, I was.
Could you talk about collaborating with Robert on that film?
Well, me and Robert have been friends for a bit now. I call him Robbie, or most people call him Robbie.
Yeah, we were told that was a stellar secondary thing.
Okay, that's I mean I just call him Robbie. So, but it was really great. It was like 4 or 5 hours of filming. It was all shot in one day. We were trying to get it shot as quickly as possible because Robbie had just found out about the after-school special, and he really wanted to get that film submitted. So I got all my stuff together, and I was like, let's just go do this. So we went out with our talent, Vernon. He was great too, and we just sort of had a good time, you know. We just like skated around and just shot all these shots like just over a day. And then I color graded the footage and then sent it over to him, and he made a pretty darn good edit.
Could you talk about the different choices in colorization for Drift Away compared to Aerochrome Summer?
Well, that was more of a Robbie thing because he was the director. Of course, he didn't want it to be red. That's something unique to that other film that I made. And I don't make everything red, you know? But I just tried to go for a sort of filmic, sort of nostalgic look. And it worked out pretty well considering the amount of time that we had. I went for lots of blues and greens. I thought that looked nice.
I agree, that was spectacular. When you think back on the experience of making your film, do any memories come to mind, and if so, what?
I remember I had gone out into that field of grass before, and usually my films start with a location. So I'll go somewhere, or I'll stumble upon a place in Anchorage, and I'll just start thinking about it, and I'll be like, it'd be cool to shoot a video there. And then I went there and just shot a bunch of footage, and I was like, I'll make a video out of this. But yeah, the way I make films is not very structured. With Robbie, it was very structured, but that's because we had a script. You know, a lot of my videos don't have scripts, which is something, a sort of goal of mine for 2025, which is to make more structured videos, not just sort of a jumble of footage. Yeah, I mean, it was just like a half a day filming and walking around in this really cool location. It's a bluff, sort of close to the ocean. That's where the grass and the trees are. But the river was next to this little cabin in Whittier. It's sort of up the hill a little bit from the town in Whittier. But yeah, I had no intention of making the film red. While I was shooting it, it was going to be green. And then halfway through editing it, I was like, I was watching a video, and I was like, it was about this film stock that made stuff red, and I was like, that'd be cool. I wonder if I could try that out. So.